Hey, hello, stamping friends. This is Robin with Stamp with Dr. Robin. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in San Diego, California, where it's blustery, not so warm today, trying to rain. We spent 2 hours this morning at least in the backyard cleaning up after our tree trimmers who came last week and trimmed. We have a lot of trees, 12 eucalyptus trees. They chopped off like 20 to 30 feet. That was quite something to watch. I kind of actually don't like to watch the guys in the up there in the trees. They make me nervous, but lots of cleanup, and it feels like it's going to rain today, but here we are in the craft room instead. So I don't have much new stuff from last week. So the new Stampin' Up! Stuff, or the continuing Stampin' Up! Stuff, is we only have about a week of celebration left. I don't think that any of the celebration items are sold out yet. So if there's something you want, it's probably still there. So come and get it. And the joining deal is still going on, meaning that not only do you get $125 worth of products for $99, but you also get 2 free stamp sets. So actually I would go look at what are the most expensive stamp sets that you could possibly want and think about getting one of those. So that would be a fun thing. Anyway, so we're going to make a fun fold card today. Oh wait, was there anything else? Just the all together and the new skin tone blends that come in all sorts of different colors are still going on. They've already sold out on a couple of the skin tone blends, but they promise they're going to be in the upcoming catalog and that they will be replenished by the time we go live in May. So that's a good thing. And then the Waves of the Ocean suite that's live for demonstrators, just put in my order for that, so hopefully by next week I will have that to show you. And other than that, I decided I was going to use the Daffodil set one more time because I just love playing with it. I think that's really pretty even if you just get the stamp set. So today we're just using the stamp set and making a pretty card. And really helpful to have that daffodil paper that you can only get during celebrations. So if you haven't already, I suggest you get some. So let's turn you down and make this card. So here is the card that we are making. I've heard it called let's get you out a little bit more, I think. A double Dutch door, or just a Dutch door card. Oh. But the cool thing is that it opens like that. And so, and you use this little piece that you cut off of the top, then becomes your little background here. So it's a really pretty card. Notice I've used the paper and the stamp set. It's actually a pretty easy card. This is our stamp set, the Daffodil Daydreams. It comes with the daffodils that you can cut out with the dies and piece together, and I've showed you how to do that in a previous video. But it also comes with just this beautiful stamp set, great for Easter, great for Mother's Day, cutest little butterfly. And don't overlook, although we're not using it today, these extra little details that they put in here like this, but we are using these little dots. These don't look like much of anything, but you'll notice they're down there. They just kind of help finish it off, as well as in the inside. All right, so let's get going here. The first thing we're gonna do is take a regular 8.5 by 5.5 paper, scored at 4 1/4. Remember, the mountain becomes the valley, goes to the inside. Always line up your edges, even though you think you've done a great job scoring it down the middle. If you don't do that, you will notice that in the end. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to cut off the top part, and I got to measure it one more time just to make sure I'm cutting off the right amount. The top 2.5 inches of this card, okay? So I didn't do that ahead of time so y'all could watch. But basically, what we're gonna do, you can do either side first, doesn't really matter. You're gonna go down 2.5 inches, so put that on the 2.5 inch mark. And you're just gonna go down to the fold, which is 4 1/4. So hopefully you can see this. See where your 4 1/4 is, and you've got your little line here. That's where you're gonna go to, okay? Pick it up and check it before you move it. I actually went over. That's okay. Set it at, push this back up, set it at 4 1/4 here, and you're just gonna go down the line, and you do, whoa, it's tearing a little bit. So you're gonna go to 2.5, but you also will usually feel a little give when you get to that little area. Now remember I said this is going to become part of your card. Whoops. So you don't want to toss that little piece because, although, see, remember I said, oops, something felt like it was tearing a little bit. So you may want to just trim that a little bit better if something got a little fussy there. And that will become this little front part here. Okay, so I have a piece that's just a 1/4 inch shorter. What's on the other side of this? Just a pretty background piece. A 1/4 inch shorter, so it's 4 by 2 and something. Two and 3/4 there. Oh, brand new thing of glue today. Always have enough multi-purpose glue. If I ever need to just add another $4 worth or something, I always just say, oh, I don't know if I need it, but I'll get more glue. Or dimensionals, because I use a lot of those too. Make sure when you're using this paper, you notice which way the leaves are going. That's about the easiest way to tell which end is up. Okay, so let's put this aside for a minute and do a little stamping. So this is our part that's going to go on here. So it is 4 by, didn't we say this is 2.5? So this is 2 1/4, at least it should be. Yep. And we're going to stamp our daffodil on here in Memento ink because I'm going to be using some blends. And when it's a big stamp like this, I will often put it down and do that just to make sure I'm getting it stamped on here well. And straight. That's why I love the lines on our grid paper. And you do want to hold it there for a second because that's what gets a good transfer onto your paper. Then we're going to take, remember I said we were going to use this little dotty stamp. So we're going to use that both on here in the, this should be Pear Pizzazz. Yep, Pear Pizzazz, because that's the color of this paper. And I'm going to stamp a little, move it, stamp a little more, so that without re-inking, we have kind of a couple different colors. And I'm going to do the same thing for what's going to be on the inside. We got a little bit on here. I don't want these lines on here, so let's make sure we're not getting those. There we go. Almost looks like, I don't know, grass or something. Then we're going to go for a sentiment. And for the sentiments, I already have a Mother's Day card planned. I only have one mother, so I thought maybe, I don't know that there's anybody on now, but I wanted to show you 2 sets that you can get now with Celebration that are going away. One is this Special Moments set, which is just a ton of sentiments. I've been using this with Sympathy a lot, as well as its beautiful Happy Birthday. Don't tell my daughter. She used to call herself Boo when she was little, so I may use that little Hey Boo at some point for her. But just a lot of great inner sentiments. Now this is free with a $100 product order. And then the other set, which I'm loving, is the Calming Camellia. Now that set, there you have to have a $300 order or get a bunch of friends together to get it. And this has some beautiful sentiments also. Actually, let me show you one thing I've been playing with. I don't know if we'll do this next week or the week after, is this Calming Camellia set here too. This I just stamped on the Just Jade and Evening Evergreen, and then I colored this with our white craft ink. And here's another one in the, oh, I need to put a little bow on here, in the Soft Succulent, and it just brings that out a little bit. You can see it more when you color it with on the crumb cake. And here's another one in pink. As you can see, I was kind of going crazy with this Calming Camellia set here. But anyway, I thought we'd use this You're in My Thoughts today. Now, what you want to do before you stamp this is I want you to notice that this is going to go on the inside, okay? And it's going to be covered up by that. So you just want to make sure you're not stamping, you know, too high, because you don't want that to be a problem there. Okay? So You're in My Thoughts. Remember, just not too high. Beautiful. All right, I think we have all our stamping done. We can actually put this together for the inside. We're not quite ready yet. So for this is a piece, I'm using all the greens in here, the Pear Pizzazz as well as the Mossy Meadow. And these are both cut from the Stitched Rectangles dies. So the Mossy Meadow one is the second from the largest, and the white one is the third from the largest. And I like to put the inside on this card. Which is unusual for me, to do the inside first, because we want to make sure that this extra little Dutch door piece is going to cover our sentiment. So that's why I'm putting this together in here first. Okay. And then, like I said, that'll cover that. Just want to smooth this out a little bit. And maybe get that little, remember that little piece on the bottom that got a little munch? Well, got a little munched on here too. I think that was just the, I don't know which is the good side. There we go. All right, so let's get back to our little daffodils. And we are going to color those with our blends. So, whoops. We have our, what do we got here? Dark Flirty Flamingo. We have our dark, is it dark or light? Dark Mossy Meadow, our light Mossy Meadow, and our dark Petal Pink. And what I decided to do was try to color this basically like the DSP. So the DSP just has this little line around the top that's in the Flirty Flamingo. And notice I'm using this time, I'm just using the smaller end, or some people call that a bullet point. Kind of just smoothing it out there. There we go. Now, doesn't that look like our little one on the cover there? And then what we're going to do again, starting with the bullet point, is kind of get this edge all the way around. I think we'll do just those three at a time. And then this is the light Mossy Meadow, just to kind of highlight. Now remember to be careful when you're got these lines you're trying to stay into. Don't know why, but with these alcohol markers, and that's why you want to use your Memento, because on the regular ones it will sometimes smear. But you do want to not go quite to the edge when you first start this, because otherwise, I don't know why, it sometimes just bleeds over the edge. But I've got my color lifter ready. Oh, see how, oh wait, let's finish these and then I'll show you what whoops, wrong side. Make sure too, when you put these together, that you hear that light click. And before I stick mine away, I always try to, make sure that all the ends are really tightly in there. I don't want these to dry up. Okay, so I didn't try to do this on purpose, but I know I had a little trouble with the other one too. See this little part that's over here? If you take it out, notice that I will just take a couple and then put it over here on my scratch paper, and then you kind of have to let it dry because it will lighten up even more than that. And again, that'll probably be good enough, and we can try it again in a minute. Whoops, see how I didn't get that one on? That's why I said I always like to go back afterwards and make sure that I have it on tightly. Now, a couple more things here. We're gonna let that dry. See how it's already lightening up a little bit? We may want to do it again. Now our final step here, or second to final, is you notice there's Flirty Flamingo ribbon on here. We don't have any Flirty Flamingo ribbon right now, but all our white ribbons can be colored. They can be colored with ink. I find the easiest way to color them is like this with our blends. And most of them will be good with just coloring one side. But I always go and, I don't remember how much I used, probably more than this. So I do one side like this, and then I turn it over and make sure, okay, that's a little lighter. But I don't worry too much about if it's not exactly the same, because a little variegation never hurt anybody. So let's keep this handy. Let's see if we got enough around here to do that, to make a good bow. I think I could use a little more here. It's easier to do a little more than a little less, right? Make sure you got your scratch paper under here. All right, I'm gonna leave it on here in case I do need a little bit more. I was gonna tell you guys, so one of the things that I've noticed with tying bows, and I don't know why this is true, is that somehow they come out better if you do them upside down sometimes. So I am actually upside down when I'm doing these cards with you guys. I don't know if you've realized that. And so if you're ever having trouble tying a bow, turn it upside down. You know, when you're doing it like this onto something, try turning it upside down, and that will often help you with it. All right. Is that kind of in the middle? There we go. That's what I wanted. All right, and now I'm actually, let's bring back in our card. I'm actually going to pop up this bottom side, so I don't want to go past here. So this is what I like to do. I like to grab it like this, and then I remember when I've turned it over, because I have my hand on it, not to go above there. And actually I'm going to try to put at least one dimensional on the ribbon so it doesn't move around too much. So see, now I haven't gone above where I wanted to go. Turn it back over. Make sure we're centered and sort of straight. Push it down, and then one final thing, which is these little bees. Now these little bees come from, what are they called? I don't know, they're on that side. They come from the annual catalog. Trying to see, there we go. Oh, it's way out here. All right, and they fit perfectly on a glue dot. So push them into your glue dot. Push that over a little bit. We have a perfect little bee, and isn't this adorable? So you could be in my thoughts today because, you know, use this as a sympathy card or get well card, or even your birthday. So for your birthday, you were in my thoughts. And like I showed you on this one, this other one that I did, I put the with sympathy from the special moments. So there we have it. Pretty quick and easy little simple cards, but just quite effective. So hopefully somebody will watch this later, because I don't think any of you were with me today. And have a good week. Oops, let's turn you up. Hopefully y'all have a good week, and I will see them later. Oh, Carolyn, you're watching. Yay, and Kathleen watching. I don't know why I couldn't see you on my other phone, but I'm glad I kept talking and that somebody was watching and saying hi. So thank you, Kathleen. I will see you next Monday at 1 o'clock Pacific time. And in the meantime, have a great week. Take care. Oh, thank you, Sheila. All right, great. Bye-bye, guys.